What's good? Anthony Joshua stops Kubrat Pulev in the 9th round to make his first defense of the IBF, WBO, and WBA titles that he won back from Andy Ruiz. He hadn't fought in over a year. Kubrat Pulev was the number one contender. So we got that fight of the way. Now we could get to the real fight everybody wants, which is Tyson Fury. But let's talk about this fight. What really shined to me was Anthony Joshua's uppercuts, which is obvious. He dropped Kubrat Pulev in the 3rd round twice, and I really think that he kind of carried Pulev up until the 9th, that he didn't really go for it in the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, even probably the 8th. Yeah, he landed some good uppercuts throughout, peppered some right hands here and there, but he didn't really go for the kill after that 3rd round where Kubrat Pulev turned his back to Anthony Joshua and was really, he kind of hit his head into the turnbuckle, into the corner, which the referee could have stopped it then and there. Because if you turn your back, you're telling the referee, you're telling this guy that you don't want to fight anymore. So it was very appropriate for Anthony Joshua to come around. Can't remember if it was a left hook or a right hook, but it was very appropriate for Joshua to come around with a hook to Pulev's face. I think the referee counted it after that, gave him a count. But he could have stopped it right there. After that, he dropped him with a couple uppercuts, but he didn't really go for it in the 4th round, so he didn't stop him. He was just pawing and jabbing and really moving. So Anthony Joshua, I believe at this point, has become Vladimir Klitschko. Here's what I mean. He's become a more cautious fighter that could stop people that are clearly not in the fight anymore. But I don't believe that he will go for the knockout anymore. Klitschko had to stop Pulev in their fight because Pulev wasn't easing up on him. Pulev kept throwing bomb after bomb and landing some. So Klitschko had to do something uncharacteristically for him at the time, which was throw that monster left hook that flattened him out. At that time, Klitschko had to do that. And yes, Klitschko had over 50 knockouts. So he was still a knockout artist, but he had a really boring style with people that he believed were a threat, a perceived threat at that moment. I haven't seen Anthony Joshua clinch his opponent yet, but with Andy Ruiz, it was clear, and the announcers were so annoying in pointing this out. Oh, I think, are we gonna get Saudi Arabia Anthony Joshua, where he was in with an opponent that just stopped him in his first defeat in his previous fight? It was very appropriate for Joshua in that fight to be cautious. So just for these guys to just throw it in his face every chance they get, just because in the first couple rounds he was pawing and moving. Oh, another thing, he showed very good head movement. Yeah, Pulev is slow as molasses, but that's what you gotta do. Pulev would throw that wide left hook, and Anthony Joshua would duck under it. You didn't see that before. So very impressive fight. Good win by Anthony Joshua. Then in the 9th round, he went for the kill. He threw about 3 uppercuts in a row. Very, very impressive. That's very impressive. You rarely see combinations like that. I mean, when you're in with an opponent that is clinching you a lot and doesn't really seem like he wants to win, but maybe just make the night harder for you, then you could do stuff like that. Yeah, he didn't make it easy for Joshua, but Joshua was able to land those uppercuts and finish him with that right hand after he dropped Pulev with those uppercuts in the 9th round. So I'm glad he went for the kill, but I see him at this point in a guy that can stink it out if he wants to. And, I mean, can knock out his opponent if he wants to, but if he can't stop him, he will carry him and take him into deep waters and maybe stop him there, or be happy with a decision win. That's how I see Anthony Joshua at this point. And really, Tyson Fury fight is the fight to make at this point, but if the fight happens and it's quite disappointing, don't be surprised. Both of these guys, I mean, Tyson Fury is very exciting outside the ring, and his last fight was very exciting, but his fights aren't normally like that. Maybe he becomes a knockout artist after this, after his rematch with Deontay Wilder. Who knows? Maybe him and Joshua switch positions. So Fury becomes a knockout artist and Joshua becomes a boxer now. But I kind of see that fight will be disappointing. But at least if it happens, it happens. So at this point, I got Tyson Fury by a boring decision. I do think he will go to a Fury of old, and he'll be able to box Anthony Joshua to a clear decision, 9-3, to become the undisputed champion. So, boring or not, that's just my speculation at this point. I'll probably make a full prediction video if that fight happens. I still hope that happens. I know Fury already posted a video. He posts videos faster than I do. Yeah, should be ashamed of myself. But he said that Anthony Joshua didn't mention his name. He ducked the question, kind of did. He went to the audience. You guys want to see the fight? But he didn't mention his name. He said, "You big dosser, I'll stop you within 3 rounds." And he said he'll stop Wilder in the rematch, and he did. So, like I said, maybe he'll change his style completely now and becomes a knockout artist and stops Joshua within 3 rounds. Man, if he does that, I think that definitely is the fight for heavyweight supremacy, but that is the fight for the heavyweight champion that will rule the 2020s. So that's the fight to be made, and let's make it happen. Eddie Hearn seemed available, so let's do it. Thanks everybody for watching. What did you guys think of this fight? What do you guys think of a potential Tyson Fury fight? Peace.